My name is Micah, and you're here because you want to learn more about how to leverage AI and become more efficient and more productive in local government. You're at the right spot because that's what we do here at this channel. Try to upload about once a week, and I hope you're ready to learn some more things about how we can leverage AI tools to make a huge difference within local government. I got three things to show you today, three different things we can do with an AI tool. A tool I'm somewhat unfamiliar with. I just started using this recently. Maybe a lot of you are already familiar with this tool. If you are, let me know in the comments below. Would love to learn from you all as well too. Part of this process is learning from each other as well. That being said, if you are new to this channel or maybe you've been around for a while, if you've not already subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. Click that bell for notifications. It is 100% free. I will not charge you one penny to subscribe, and it really helps to get the whole algorithm thing. That way more people like yourself can find this content and benefit from it and make ourselves more productive. Because in local government, we learn and we share from each other. So if you find this content useful, find this video useful, share it with a friend. Share it with someone who's not a friend. Share it with a colleague and get the word around. That way we can all learn from each other. If you like videos like this, again, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this content, this isn't for you, don't like saving time, don't like being efficient, go ahead and give this video a thumbs down and click it twice. So I'm going to show you three different zaps that I've put together. If you're not familiar with Zapier, let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video of how to actually set this up. I don't know how many of you want to see something like that or not. So I'm going to show you through the zaps I created and what these things do, but I'm not going to go into details of how to create these different zaps. If you want me to do that, let me know. I'll do that in a future video. These three zaps are just three quick ways in which we can leverage AI and leverage these different tools to become more efficient, more productive, and help you get some of your day back. So in this first zap, what I've done is I've created a process whereby if my name is mentioned in local media or in the national media or stuff like that, it basically tells me once a week with relevant links where my name has been mentioned. Now think of it this way, right? This is helpful for reputation management. If your city managers want that, want to see your names be mentioned. As well, you can also tailor it to where the keyword it's searching for is your city's name. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you have a very common city name or something that's used in the common vernacular, maybe a very common name like Washington or something like that, it might be used in national media as well too a lot. Obviously, you're going to have some issues with filtering that stuff out. Now, the tool I'm using called Mention, that's the tool that's right here in the second step. This is what the tool that does some of that media monitoring for you and does the keyword searching. I'm using the free version of it. My understanding of it, just kind of looking over it briefly, is that if you pay more money, it does a better job at filtering those things out, gives you more options that way. Kind of the whole idea of if you pay more, you get more stuff, right? So for now, I'm just using the free version to kind of play with this. So how the system works here is I've created a schedule. So the first step is to create the schedule. The schedule for this is every week. And then when my name is mentioned in media and social media, things like that, it'll send it to this AI by Zapier that analyzes and returns the data, and it puts it into a bulletized format and then sends me an email again once a week. That way, once a week, I can go in there, see what's mentioned to me or things like that. Again, the same thing you could do with your city name or something of that nature as well. So super, super helpful, super powerful. I like the once a week thing because that way it doesn't overwhelm me with something every day. I can go in there, take a look at it, filter out the good stuff, ignore the bad, whatever, or stuff that's just kind of junk, right? You might get a lot of junk with it too. So super easy to set up, super simple tool here. And again, if you want me to show you how to set these things up, let me know in the comments below and I'll do that for you. Okay, for this zap, what I did was I was thinking through all the various vendor solicitation emails that we get in city management or in the city work that we do, a bunch of emails about like, hey, do you want to build this thing? Or have you heard of my new tool or whatever? We get all that kind of stuff. It's kind of overwhelming at times. And so what I did for this is I wanted to build a zap that allows me to quickly respond to those emails. And this way I can have something ahead of time and ready to go. So what I did for this is basically what it does is every time a new email comes into my Outlook and it has different keywords that trigger this event. So I did it based on keywords. That's the filter section there. That email is then the next step is to have ChatGPT create a conversation where basically it'll reply to that email and then create a draft email for me within Outlook. Now, I did it this way as a draft because I don't necessarily want ChatGPT writing and sending emails for me. I like that human in the loop aspect of things. And so this allows me to come in the next day, especially if I get a bunch of emails from vendors on the weekends or things like that. I'm able to come in on the next business day or even the next day. I can look at the email. I can decide whether I want to respond to it or not respond to it. And I can decide whether or not ChatGPT wrote an appropriate enough response for me or not, and click send on this. So this is another quick, easy tool to set up. Again, pretty simple. This one's 4 different steps, but a great way to save some time. Again, you can do different things too, right? I'm focusing and picking on our vendors who do a lot of great work, but sometimes, as everybody knows, some salespeople can be kind of pushy and a little too much at times, which that's just the way it is, right? And so we got to filter that out. And some things we want to work with, some things we don't want to work with. And so getting some of our time back, that way we don't have to get our emails clogged up or whatnot. We can have a quick response that way. But you can do this anything too, right? You could have it based on keywords. Maybe you do something like this and have it based on the word pothole, or based on something like, hey, zoning questions. This way you have something preset, ready to go at all times. I would highly recommend having this create a draft email. You do have the option to have it send an email. I would highly recommend making sure this is a draft email first. That way you have that human in the loop element. You can look over it, make sure it's the right wording, make sure it's accurate, all the stuff that's relevant and important in local government before it just automatically sends the email out for you. And here's a third and final Zapier we created. This is a little more nuanced, but I think it's really cool. So the steps are pretty simple, and then I'll walk through the steps and then tell you the kind of the nuanced part that I think you're gonna find very, very interesting. So the basic idea of it, very similar to the first Zap I told you about, where if my name is mentioned in media, it creates these different things, right? It gives me an email. For this one, what I did is if a name, and the first one I picked a city name for reasons I'll give into later. I picked a city name. If the city is mentioned in the media, what that does is it sends it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT drafts a press release based on that media mention. And then it sends that press release and stores it as a draft. Again, same thing I said before about why I draft, not sending it out. Creates a draft within my Gmail account. So here's what I did that's kind of different. Within the ChatGPT side of things, I was able to go to ChatGPT, and I provided ChatGPT with 10 different copies of the most recent press releases for this particular city that I identified. By doing that, I was able to have ChatGPT identify the voice, tone, style, all that good stuff of their press releases, the formatting, all that. So that way, when I have ChatGPT write the press release, it's going to match that same style, format, tone, all the above, all that good stuff. That way, when I get the draft within Gmail, it's very similar to what I'm already going to see. And this way I know that my voice is being captured, that the style is being captured, that the tone is being captured, that professional branding that we want as a city is being captured right there. Again, the same reason before, always make sure you look over it. Some of the stuff is not going to be relevant. So if, for instance, maybe they're talking about, hey, we had a council meeting and the council meeting talked about this, right? There's a quick news update or general news update or something like that. You may or may not want to do a press release about that. But this way it helps you stay ahead of things. And if your city is mentioned in the media for something and it's something a big news, a big deal, you're not scrambling to figure out, hey, how do we write this draft press release? How do we get this done? What do we need to say? You can go right into revision mode and skip that draft phase because the draft is already done for you. You can get your communications team and your PIOs ready to go right on that right away. And they're putting their efforts into polishing it and getting that sent out, as opposed from starting from scratch. Just 3 quick ways that we can use Zapier, and you can see the connections there within ChatGPT for the AI element. Just really quick ways in which we can do these things to save lots and lots of time, be more efficient, get a head start on critical issues and critical incidents. So hope these things are valuable for you. Again, if you want me to go through in detail how to set these different things up, let me know. Let me know which one of your favorite is. That way I know which video to make as well too. And I'll do that for you all and show you how to do this. If you're using Zapier too, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you how you are using this. There are some crazy complicated Zaps out there that I'm still trying to figure out how these things work and how to set these things up. These are the ones that my kind of small brain can wrap my head around how to put together and how to build. But I'm still learning this tool too. So if you have any resources to learn how to use Zapier or tools you use with Zapier, let me know in the comments below. That way we can all learn together. Again, as always, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Appreciate you watching to the end of the video. Very few % of people actually watch to the final end of YouTube videos. So if you're watching this right now, hear my voice, well done. Give yourself a gold star. Until next time.